Okay, so in this video tutorial, I want to show you guys how to type square roots and square on your calculator. So what I would recommend you guys to do is I would recommend you guys to bring out your calculator and just kind of follow what I'm about to do here. Okay, so make sure we don't forget, right? So bring out your calculator, and if you have a lot of stuff on your screen, I recommend hitting clear and then clear off the screen so we don't get distracted. So first, how do we type square on our calculator? So it's pretty simple. So what we have to do here is we just have to pick our number. So for example, like 5, okay? And I want to find 5 square. How can I put square? Here, if you look on the left, you'll see right next to 7, there's a button called log, L-O-G, right? And on top of that, you will see this button has X and 2 on the right top of it, right? And that is a square button. So if you type in your number and if you hit that, what it's gonna do is it's gonna insert that 2 on top of that 5. And this 2 here is indicating a square. So this 5 and 2 is same thing as saying 5 squared. So if we hit enter, we will get 25. And we should get same answer by multiplying 5 times 5, right? Which is 25 also. And another way to put square. So let's say I wanted to do something like 7 squared, or other than squared, like cubic. So if I wanted to do cubic function or cubic number, I would have to put 3 on top of it. But do we see any 3 buttons here? Or a button with the 3 up there? No. So what we can do is we can use this key called caret or power key. So power key is located on the right side of your calculator, and it should be on top of or above the division sign. If you look on top, you will see this little arrow shaped thing here. We call it a caret, and in math we call it an exponent button or power button or whatever. So just hit that. What it's gonna do is it's gonna move your cursor to the top of that number. This way we can figure out our own power instead of pressing this button here. So since now our cursor is at power area, we can just plug in our power. So for example, I want to find out what 7 cube is. So I would have to type 3 in there, right? And notice if I type 3, 3 pops up. And another thing here, your cursor is still at the power area. And if you wanted to do something like plus 2 to this 7 cube here, if you just type plus 2, what it's going to do is it's going to type that plus 2 into the power. And we don't want to do that because that's saying 7 to the 5 power. So what can we do here is let's go back and then delete these two. And then once it's cleared, just hit right button. Then now your cursor is on the bottom where you can use normal operations. For example, like plus 2, and hit enter, and we get 345. Okay, now we're good with the powers then. How about square roots? How do we type square roots on calculator? Square root doesn't have white buttons here, but if you look on top of this square button that we just went over, you will see this square root picture or square root icon here, right? And what color is it? It's in blue, which means in order to access that blue, we have to go into second and then hit that button, because second is that blue button on your calculator. And if you hit that and then hit this square button here, it will access that square root. Notice there's a square root. So what would be square root of 64? It would be 8. So that's how we use square roots. Okay, but what about if I wanted to do something else other than square root, like cube root? Then we would have to use this power rule here. So let's do 8. Okay, notice I'm putting parentheses here, right? The more parentheses won't hurt your answer. So what I would recommend you guys to do is put parentheses, try to put parentheses as much as possible, okay? When you're doing like complicated problems, because that helps a lot with the getting an accurate answer. So well, anyway, so just hit power button here, and square root here is same thing as saying 1/2 power. So what we can do is we can just type in 1 divide by 2, saying 1/2 power. So if we were to do that, we're gonna get a square root of 8, which will be a decimal because it would be 2 square root of 2, right? But if I wanted to do 8 to the cube root, it would be 1 divided by 3 instead of 1/2, because cube root is 1/3. So if I do that, I get a 2 as an answer. So that's how you use square roots on your calculator. Also, there's another way. So you can kind of choose whichever way you feel most comfortable, okay? So the third way is going to this math button here. And if you click this math button, you'll see a lot of tabs here, right? And then if you go down below, you'll see this cube root on number 4, and number 5, it has x and the root. What does that mean? That means you want to do something other than square root and cube root. For example, like 4th root, 5th root, or so on, right? Then you would have to click that number 5. So number 5 here, let's highlight that and then hit enter. And notice our cursor is on top of or in front of the square root, indicating it's asking you to type in whatever the root you want to use. So let's say I wanted to use like 4th root. 4th root of like 32. Okay, and if I do that, I'm gonna get some decimal number because it's not even. But let me pick something even. Okay, let's go back to oops, it's kind of slow here. Okay, so if we type that again and then do 4 and 16, and by the way, 4th root of 16 should come out to be 2 because 16 is 2 to the 4th power. So if we type that and then hit enter, we are going to get the answer 2. So yeah, this tutorial was about how to type square roots or powers like squares. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any questions, please leave questions on the comment below, and then make sure you guys subscribe for more better tutorials. Thank you.